I procrastinated this speech big time. How, you might ask? Well, instead of researching my academic sources, I chose to play Spider-Man on my PlayStation instead. The only good thing that came out of this procrastination is that it actually gave me an idea for my speech. This is something that my roommate and I debate all the time, but I stand firm in the belief that the PlayStation is by far the better console in comparison to the Xbox. So in order to determine what console is best, I'm going to be looking at the interface, VR capabilities, and the most important thing, the game library. Take a look at the Xbox interface. It's clunky, cluttered, a little chaotic, and simply getting to your game may feel like a chore. Moving on to the PS4. It's clean, simple, and crisp. In 2010, Jeff Johnson studied the Gestalt principles of visual perception. Through his studies, he found that when people are looking at software, they don't read every single word on the screen. They simply scan for the most relevant information. When information is presented in a clear and structured format, just like the PlayStation menu, it's easier for the consumer to understand. As the video game industry continues to grow, so does the technology behind it. One of the newer gadgets to hit the market is VR gaming. In a 2018 study by Joanna R. and Ralph T., they revealed the worldwide sales revenue for headset VR gaming. In 2016, revenue was at $5.6 billion, but it's supposed to increase to a whopping $22.9 billion by the end of this year. This provides a potential for profit for PlayStation, but also an increased immersive experience for gamers. The PlayStation 4 created its own VR headset in October of 2016. This add-on supports over 500 games and includes multiple accessories that create an even more immersive experience. But what about the Xbox? Their platforms currently don't support any third-party VR headsets, even the Oculus Rift. The closest thing they have to an immersive experience is the Kinect. The Kinect is a motion-sensing device that was intended to eliminate the gaming controller. While this might sound like a cool idea, there were a few good games that used this technology, but most of the other games required more precise movements. The lack of popularity resulted in discontinuing the Kinect in 2017. Essentially, Xbox has zero ways to compete with PlayStation's VR technology, and PlayStation is in a great economic position right now because their PS4 is already in 100 million homes, and their VR technology is cheaper than their leading competitor, the Oculus Rift, which requires a very expensive computer to work. Now for the real meat of the debate, the game library, but more specifically, exclusive games. An exclusive game is a game that is accessible to one console but not another. In 2013, researchers Benjamin H. and Katz M. found that exclusivity helps differentiate products, but it does potentially lose some sales if a consumer prefers one platform over another. But why is this important? Well, if you're deciding between Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, their hardware and performance are really similar, so you're really going to need to rely on the exclusive game content to choose one over the other. In order to determine who has better games, we need to look at the history of the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. When Xbox One debuted in 2013, it had the strongest launch of exclusive games with Dead Rising 3, Rise of Rome, and Forza Motorsport 5. PlayStation had good launches with Knack, Killzone Shadowfall, and Resogun, but nothing as powerful as Microsoft's opening lineup. Microsoft continued its promising start by unveiling Titanfall and Sunset Overdrive, two of the most anticipated games of the season. So anticipated that Titanfall was actually supposed to replace Call of Duty. The downfall of Microsoft's exclusive games began when it released Titanfall, and the game did not do nearly as well as they expected. It launched, and then it was simply forgotten into the wind. Sunset Overdrive was a great game, but just like Titanfall, it sold poorly and was quickly forgotten. Microsoft didn't even release its numbers. In 2015, Xbox attempted to make up for these two failures by launching what they called their best lineup yet. They had Halo 5 Guardians, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Forza Motorsport 6, Gears of War Ultimate Edition, and Rare Replay. Sony did not have the best successes in the start of 2015, as the Order 1886 was a big disappointment, but it quickly redeemed itself with solid launches with Bloodborne, God of War 3, Remastered, Tearaway, Unfolded, and Uncharted, the Nathan Drake Collection. Then came the biggest surprise launch that put PlayStation on top, Until Dawn. Until Dawn is a horror game that swept the markets for its beautiful graphics and gameplay. Due to the failure of games like Titanfall and Sunset Overdrive, there won't be many sequels launching on Xbox's platforms anytime soon. In fact, creators are already planning on moving their new creative launches to PlayStation instead. Essentially, Microsoft had the best success in series that were already established, such as Halo and Forza. PlayStation, on the other hand, will certainly release sequels to Infamous, Second Son, Bloodborne, Until Dawn, and even The Order of 1886. By 2016, Sony had already released 3 or 4 different series that were exclusive to PlayStation. With all this said and done, PlayStation is clearly the winner in the PlayStation versus Xbox debate because they have a simpler interface, exclusive gaming content, and better VR capabilities. It'll be interesting to see how the new generation of consoles continue to improve on their platforms.